Is Battlefield 6 a breath of fresh air among online shooters in 2025, or is it just another filler game in the series that will play on nostalgia? I played the beta version and I'm ready to share my opinion as a player and as someone who close to game dev industry. First of all, I've been a fan of this series since 2005 when I got into Battlefield 1942. Since then, I associated this series with my favorite shooter games with big maps and freedom of action. And in 2011, when the third part was released, I squealed with delight like a little girl as I watched the trailers, graphics, gameplay and visual style. For me, the third part became the benchmark for games in the series. Year passed and the Battlefield series experienced ups and downs. Some parts of this series were truly epic masterpieces, such as Battlefield 4 with its revolution system, while Battlefield 1 gave us an experience with historical storyline. In the case of the latest title of the franchise, Battlefield 2042, the series has plunged into the abyss of insane nonsense in the attempt to reassemble Call of Duty. Why? I don't understand. And if the Battlefield part could be played with your eyes closed, then at the first I spat on 2042 and realized that I wouldn't stay in this game for so long. Basically, there was nothing to play there. But after 3 years, 2042 became interesting to play. But not for long. Why? Because there was almost not good content here, plus its reputation was tarnished. The game itself was stylistically not bad, the gameplay and balance could have been better, and the interface wasn't not bad in places. But the amount of content slowly suffocated the players with monotony and extremely unbalanced maps. It suffocated me too. After that I tried Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I tried the capture mode, similar to Battlefield, and it repelled me. Although at the first the game it was not bad, but it lacked the sad feelings of immersion in the war with classes and sandbox on the maps, when your team must first and foremost help each other, support each other, and not just run from one end of the map to the other and farm kills with dolphin jumps. It's really dummy and ruins atmosphere. I was also very put off by the Modern Warfare 2 interface. It's really ugly shit. And when I played the beta version of Battlefield 6, it felt like I had gone back 10 years. I even liked the gameplay, the improved mechanics, the series style, the maps, and even the return to the old Battlefield 4 interface. But the Battlefield 6 still feels influenced by trendy shooters. The news about the development made me skeptical about the game, until the very end. What am I saying? I'm still skeptical about the final product. The development of Battlefield 6 is a story of redemption after the disaster of 2042. DICE acknowledges its mistakes, maps that are too large, operation state of classes, and a lack of soul in the product. Soul is what modern games are missing. Such games feel the service mechanics to get as much profit as possible, forgetting the main thing, a satisfied end consumer who is ready to buy your product and related goods. The community was so angry and public manifesto appeared: no pre-orders. Pre-order are black mark that benefits developers, but not always users. It's funny that very quickly the supporters of this initiative couldn't resist and pre-ordered the game. It was their choice. It was impossible to resist. I understand. How about good news? In my opinion, DICE has corrected its mistakes, and Win Zampella has returned to the series. It's hard to say whether this is good or bad based on the first impressions, but I can see that the company has tried not only make the money, but also to give players what they've been waiting for so long. Their atmospheric maps and the class system works. Although the classes are not as perfect in Battlefield 5, there are now clownish skins and models for everything this skin can be applied to. The weapons don't feel plastic, although no, shooting is still a little awkward, but I guess it's fixable. The interface has been redesigned and it's less flashy, but on the other hand, it has become very similar to Battlefield 4. They added cool interface features such as combat intensity graphs, damage logs when you get killed, and a detailed HUD with micro indicators. But there are also annoying things, such as a main menu, where sometimes get lost in navigation, and lack of gamifications, such as ribbons. Oh my god, how I miss them. How cool it's to hear and see the variety of ribbons during and after battles. In short, the interface during combat invokes pleasant feelings, playing on nostalgia, but it seems simplified. If the designers of the Battlefield 5 or 2042 part were given more money and time, but although I overall like the military style. Otherwise the HUD looks stylish, but monotonous and somehow too simple. I understand that there's a trend toward simplification right now, but the interface is what you see in front of your eyes 95% of the time, especially in multiplayer shooters. And damn it, what's with the HP bar? I'm not saying that the designers did a bad job. Understand how to create an interface, especially one that is consistent and attractive. I'm just pointing out that it feels different. I also understand that this is only better version, but something tells me that we won't be any juicy ribbons like this. The game are still a bunch of nuances that need to be fixed and rebalanced, but overall it's progress. Progress that took 7 years of not entirely successful experiments and a series of controversial actions on the part of EA. But still I have some concerns about the game. That's what's stopping me from hitting the pre-order button. Although I have never pre-ordered Battlefield game before. In fact, I've never pre-ordered any game before. So what concerns me? First is balance, the balance of the gameplay itself. It feels more dynamic and chaotic. That is not dependent on tactics as it was in Battlefield 5 for example. After all, the trends in modern shooters are making themselves felt. Second, blurring of classes. Classes as much remain, but their functions has become less clear and necessary in terms of the gameplay that was in beta version. Yes, there weren't many maps, and yes, you can take any weapon, even one intended to another class. But the essence of this series, you can be Universal Rambo who heals, blows up equipment and shoots snipers from a distance of 200 meters. The third one, maps. They have become quite balanced with the possible exception of Tajikistan in breakthrough mode. The only thing that bothers me is that they have become similar to corridors, a bit like in Call of Duty. That is, they have lost some of their empty space. While in Battlefield 2042, on the contrary, there were a lot of empty spaces and few enclosed spaces and elements. The main question is whether Battlefield 6 will be a part of the series that will begin to recover and still try to differentiate itself from modern shooter. The main question is whether Battlefield 6 will be a part of the series that will begin to recover and still to try out among modern shooters. After all, fans of this series, including myself, love it for the originality of the large-scale battles and military anarchy. Or will EA make a pink clone of Call of Duty? We'll see. If you like this video, click like button below, comment something and share your opinion. When the game is released, I will try to analyze the game and its interface in detail. After all, we are all interested in a good product, aren't we?